It's HOLOLIVE time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the figma number 529. It's Usada Pekora from HOLOLIVE Productions. Generation 3 in Japan, also known as Holo Fantasy, all fantasy type characters, which, by the way, we're gonna get all the figmas of those gals and hopefully more. But this is the beginning, this is the start. This is finally, oh my god, the first HOLOLIVE figma, and it's one of the biggest, most successful character in the entire company. And what do I say about Pekora? She's funny. She's extremely funny. She gets angry, she gets salty, but in a funny way. She always entertains. She's also pretty good at games, very determined, always there for her comrades, and I love her. So let's have a look at the figure.
Okay.
From Pekoland, the royalty, the HOLOLIVE god of mischief, it's Pekora. Yeah, I came up with that myself, thank you very much. She stands at about, and then I can't even hold my ruler the right way. She stands at about 13 and a half, a little over 13 and a half to the top of the hat. And you're going up to 15 centimeters if we're going to the top of the ears, which means like 6 inches to the top of the ears and like 5.3 to the top of the head. Size comparisons. Here's Jalter, the SH Figures Goku and Krillin, Naka Michelangelo, Pop-Up Parade Fubuki, and Pekora, and Darkseid. This figure is fantastic, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a HOLOLIVE fan. That's the complete opposite on this channel. If I'm a fan of something, I'm that much more critical of the products they release because I want to have the best. And this one, oh my god, yeah. So there's a lot of good stuff. First and foremost, I think they nail the aesthetics. She's bright and colorful. She looks like the model. There's one thing I want to add though, which is a bit of a nitpick, but you know, just saying. The fluffy parts, the fluffy fur that she has around the neck, around the wrists and her dress, and also down to shoes. It's too detailed. And I'm saying that, I know it sounds weird. What, too much detail? What are you talking about, Payne? Well, look at the original model. It's a lot more simple, it's a lot more plain. It's an anime girl, it's not supposed to look super realistic. So that's one part. They shouldn't have done it as much, but still, you know, that's, as I'm saying, nitpicking. Now let's have a look at the face sculpt. It's absolutely freaking beautiful. These eyes are amazing. There's so much detail in it, and also they painted her a lot more thick eyebrows nicely on there, and the smile is beautiful. Same thing for the hair. It's also extremely nicely done because you have all the detail that's on the model is also here. You have the white on the top of the hat, which goes into the blue, and then you have these lines where the hair is I guess a little bit shiny. That's, you know, that's like a common anime manga thing to draw these lines on your hat. Also you have the bunny ears, which one thing about those as well, they're just packed in these very specific packs. As such, it completely negates any rotation whatsoever, so you cannot move those around. You do get different ears still, but that's for later. Also, there's a little bit of fluff in there, which is a lot less detailed, so that's good. That looks better. Have the long braids on both sides, and the paint on here is mostly good. I haven't really found any big issues with it. There's not really any bleeding going on, and nothing I would really super complain about. Also, the carrots are removable for whatever reason. I don't know, when I took out the packaging, this one came out. It does stay in, it has like a very, very tight fit in there, but yeah, I don't really get the idea of it being removable. But let's have a look at this braid over here. Well, actually there's a little bit of bleeding and there's some line work, but as I'm saying, nothing too major. You got the scarf, which you can take off. It's completely floaty. If you don't like it, you can take that off. If you want to go in the back for the fluffy tail, it's beautiful. And you have a big ribbon, which looks like a butterfly in the back, and also the blue on her sleeve. Well, not really sleeves, kind of like the armbands. And also more fluff here, just like the black gloves. And the entire, the more I look at the figure, it's just like it's a weird design because they tried to make a bunny girl and they went with the like Vegas bunny girl outfit, but then they made it cuter by adding a bunch of like the furry stuff and like make a dress around it. Also, what they made with the dress is pretty interesting. As you can tell, there's some articulation points in there. However, it's like, oh, but it's connected. Yes, it is connected intentionally, so it does stick together, just in a neutral pose. But if you want to move it around, also, by the way, it's Pantsu time! Ta-da!
No, way too sex predator.
There it is, you got the shiny Pantsu. As I was saying, looks like a Vegas showgirl kind of vibe going on. But yeah, also all the detail on there. Look at this, it's like molded, like it overlaps a little bit. And if you put it back together, it looks, I say almost perfect because it doesn't completely line up. Another thing I'm really impressed with is all the small blue line work in the dress. There's a lot of it going around. You got plenty of parts where it just looks really clean. I don't see anything where it really breaks up. Same like with this line that goes all throughout the body, also in the back. You know, a lot of times this is like stuff where we look at it and they're like, oh, there's bleeding, it goes over the line. But with this one, it's good. It's really good. Also, the black in the front is a bit more shiny than the rest of it. There's some bleeding from the right that didn't completely hit that, but again, nothing I would lose sleep over. Also, all this detail in the dress is actually molded on. You can tell it's a little bit elevated. It's not just printed on, it's not just painted on. No, molded. Absolutely beautiful. As I move down, you have another carrot in the pocket over here, and then the legs with this thigh band. There's a name for that, right? Same with the blue line work. It is good for the most part. There's some parts where I looked at it and it felt like a little bit weird. Like I don't know what's going on over there. A little bit of excess plastic down to the shoes with some blue under there, which actually has some bleeding. Oh, look at this tiny amount of bleeding. Yeah, I'm kidding. This is, I'm just gonna say it, I feel like this is Figma, one of Figma's strongest releases in a while. The paint is clean and the mold is great. And yeah, I have barely anything to complain. I love it. Now for the articulation, as I actually lost the carrot from the hair. Yeah, it just goes out. I don't know, weird. Anyway, the head moves back and forth. You have the ball hinge that goes into another ball into the neck. So you can also tilt it side to side, no problem. Goes all the way around, and even though the scarf is there, it doesn't really get in the way. You still get up movement, and while forward movement, I would recommend just pulling it out a little bit, maybe, the pack, and you could still probably tuck it under there. You have the ball hinges in the hair, moves up and down, and all the way around. And as I was saying, fortunately nothing in the bunny ears, which also not the tightest connection in there. Just a weird thing. Then for the shoulder articulation, you have the double ball joint, one ball in the chest area, which can move up and down, back and forth, and then another ball hinge in the shoulder itself, so you can bring that up and down, and also rotate the entire piece or rotate it on this piece. Then you have a ball hinge in the elbow and another ball hinge in the fist. This is like, every Figma is the same in that regard, and also rotates around. Maybe have some rotation in the forearm, but not really that much. Chest area goes back and forth, moves side to side, and also has some good rotation on it. Also, doesn't leave that many gaps, like just a little bit, but fine with it. Then let's move out the skirt, well, the dress part, which you have on these ball hinges in the back. As such, you can bring it out and also rotate it a little bit in there because they left enough room to do so, you know, to enable some more poses. And you don't even notice it. Obviously in the back it gets cut up, but if you just pose it like that and you just kind of want a dancing pose or whatever, that works. So job well done on that. You have the ball in the leg for the thigh, so you can bring that, wow, very, very high kick. Moves out to the side. Does that go up also? No. And moves to the back. Nicely done. And then we have the ball hinge in the knee, and for the foot you do have another ball hinge, goes back, forward, does tilt side to side, and actually this is like a ball hinge which is put in straight, so you can also rotate the entire ball on the ankle part. But yeah, move side to side, and it's beautiful. It works. Yay! I love these accessories. This is the Usada Pekora experience, and I'll tell you why. So first and foremost, you have the front hairpiece with the sunglasses if she's spitting some fire raps or whatever. But I love also the part that this is connected to the front hairpiece. This is not a flimsy connection to the head or whatever. No, directly connected. Now for the face sculpts. I'm gonna go over one by one because this is perfect. First and foremost, the angry yelling face with the tears. I love how the mouth is kind of molded. And yeah, this is when she struggles at a video game. This is when she kind of loses it for a second and just this is a relaxed face, but watching Pekora, this is kind of like when she fails over and over and over, and she just kind of is before the point of crying or already over the point where it just kind of close the eyes and you go like, that's that one. And of course, finally, there's like I got this in the complete wrong order, but this is like before the crying. This is definitely like when she's getting bullied by Chad or just dying over and over in the game. This is like before. This is before this, okay? That's it. So, perfect. Perfectly done. You also have a Usagi, which is the fan base of Peko Peko. Very nicely painted with the carrots in the ears and just like a lovely, lovely smile. Very simple fellow, but good looking. Also, you have the different ears, which are like the sad ears. So this is what those look like, and they're specifically angled like that. Again, you can't really move it around. Maybe a little bit of wiggle motion, but that's about it. And then you also have the rocket launcher, which is kind of interesting that they included that. Because from what I can tell, that was never really on the program. That was like somebody else, a fan, an Usagi, who did this, who did like a Nerf water gun for the Peko rocket launcher. It looks great, and it's an absolutely amazing accessory. Unfortunately, you can't really, I don't think you can take this off. I kind of tried twisting it, but I can't get it off. So, you know, I don't want to break it off. Also, you do get an extra carrot because, again, the Pekora experience. Always have carrots. Always have a bunch of carrots. She needs them carrots because she's a rabbit. Have you caught on that? But yeah, anyway, got the open hands, the regular holding hands, pointy fingers, and the one trigger finger hand. And this is like just another holding hand, which has a little bit of a different angle than this one. This is for the carrot actually, and this one's for the rocket launcher. There we go. To clarify that, and then you also have the Figma base, which is included in every Figma, and also have the Figma bag, which is also included with every Figma. Final thoughts! This figure is amazing. Go out and buy it. I mean, I couldn't be happier with this one. The paint's amazing. The articulation does its job, and I mean, like they did like the extra stuff with the dress and everything. And the accessories are also fantastic. I love the face sculpts in particular in this one, and everything just works. I honestly, I feel like even if you're not a fan of HOLOLIVE, just like I was back in the day when I looked at this figure the first time and I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool, bunny girl rocket launcher, haha, why not? I still think this is a very strong release for Figma in general because of all the cool accessories you're getting, the different faces, the rocket launcher, the new Usagi that comes with it, which doesn't get his own base, but you know, you can still put him on this base. And the figure, my copy at least also has very strong joints, like something I've recently had trouble with, like a little bit of loose legs and whatnot. No, everything on here is tight, tightly painted, tightly made, tightly fits together, and I freaking love it. 100% recommended. One of the best releases of the year so far. Yes, I've said that. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Pekora wants.